Elon Musk finally explains Stephen Hawking's terrifying multiverse theory. Isn't it terrifying to think that billions upon billions of versions of our universe exist out there in the vast cosmos? That there may be countless other variants of ourselves and those closest to us? If you're even a little bit into sci-fi, then there's a good chance you've watched, read, or consumed something that references multiverses. Parallel universes are no longer just a feature of good sci-fi story. There are now some scientific theories that support the idea of parallel universes beyond our own, and the most eminent one was presented by the great Stephen Hawking himself. It now appears that eccentric billionaire Elon Musk also views the universe with the same lens as him. Buckle up, because today we're going to talk about Elon Musk explaining Stephen Hawking's terrifying multiverse theory. Sci-fi loves parallel universes, but could we really be in one? What have Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk said about it? Well, stick around till the end as we answer these questions and more, so let's dive right in. Before we get into the thick of things, it's important that we establish what the multiverse theory exactly is. The multiverse theory suggests that our universe, with all its hundreds of billions of galaxies and almost countless stars spanning tens of billions of light years, may not be the only one. Instead, there may be an entirely different universe, distantly separated from ours, and another and another. Indeed, there may be an infinity of universes, all with their own laws of physics, their own collections of stars and galaxies, if stars and galaxies can exist in those universes, and maybe even their own intelligent civilizations. It could be that our universe is just one member of a much grander, much larger multitude of universes, a multiverse. The concept of the multiverse arises in a few areas of physics and philosophy, but the most prominent example comes from something called inflation theory. Inflation theory describes a hypothetical event that occurred when our universe was very young, less than a second old. In an incredibly brief amount of time, the universe underwent a period of rapid expansion, inflating to become many orders of magnitude larger than its previous size, according to NASA. The inflation of our universe is thought to have ended about 14 billion years ago. However, inflation does not end everywhere at the same time. It is possible that as inflation ends in some regions, it continues in others. Thus, while inflation ended in our universe, there may have been other, much more distant regions where inflation continued and continues even today. Individual universes can pinch off larger inflating, expanding universes, creating an infinite sea of eternal inflation, filled with numerous individual universes. In this eternal inflation scenario, each universe would emerge with its own laws of physics, its own collection of particles, its own arrangement of forces, and its own values of fundamental constants. This might explain why our universe has the properties it does, particularly the properties that are hard to explain with fundamental physics, such as dark matter or the cosmological constant. The biggest piece of evidence for the multiverse is that life exists, particularly intelligent life, capable of making cosmological observations. Certain aspects of our universe seem special and important for supporting life, such as the longevity of stars, the abundance of carbon, the availability of light for photosynthesis, and the stability of complex nuclei. Many scientists have tried to find more physical, hard evidence for the multiverse's existence. For example, if a neighboring universe happened to be close to ours long ago, it may have collided with our universe, creating a detachable imprint. That imprint could be in the form of distortions in the cosmic microwave background, or in a strange galaxy properties in the direction of the collision. But all these types of searches have come up empty, so the multiverse remains hypothetical. Reality may be made up of multiple universes, but each one may not be so different from our own, according to Stephen Hawking's final theory of the cosmos. The work, completed only weeks before the physicist's death in March, paints a simpler picture of the past 13.8 billion years than many previous theories have proposed. Published on Wednesday in the Journal of High Energy Physics, the new world is the result of a long collaboration with Thomas Hertog, a Belgian physicist at the Catholic University of Leuven. Hertog traveled to Cambridge to work on the theory with Hawking. Modern physics has more than one theory of how the universe came to be, but one of the most popular ideas is that the Big Bang was followed by repeated bursts of cosmic inflation, which created an endless number of pocket universes that are now scattered throughout space. The usual theory of eternal inflation predicts that globally our universe is like an infinite fractal, with a mosaic of different pocket universes separated by an inflating ocean, Hawking said last autumn. But in the latest work, Hawking and Hertog challenged that view. Instead of space being filled with pocket universes where radically different laws of physics apply, those alternate universes may not actually vary that much from one another. While the consequences of the proposal may not be obvious, the theory may provide some comfort to physicists who wonder how, given all the hostile variations thought possible, we find ourselves in a universe well suited to life. The new theory takes work that Hawking and the US physicist James Hartle published in the 1980s and updates it with the more powerful, modern mathematical techniques used in string theory. In string theory, reality is described through the interactions of one-dimensional objects known as cosmic strings. Hertog believes that his work with Hawking is one step towards a theory of our cosmic origins that physicists could ultimately test. If the universe has evolved as the theory predicts, he says, it may have left a telltale signature on gravitational waves, or the so-called cosmic microwave background, the radiation that was released at the birth of the universe. So are you guys having a good time learning more about the multiverse? Tell us something. Where does the SpaceX CEO come into all of this? And how has he explained Hawking's theory? While you think, do subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to receive instant notification about all our future videos. While Elon Musk has not exactly expounded on Hawking's exact theory, he has painted a very similar picture of the universe as Hawking did. Musk thinks we're all probably trapped in a matrix-like pseudo-existence. The universe is 13.8 billion years old, so any civilizations that may have arisen throughout the cosmos have had loads and loads of time to hone their technological know-how, the SpaceX founder and CEO explained during a long, wide-ranging, and very entertaining appearance on comedian Joe Rogan's popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then games will be indistinguishable from reality, or civilization will end. One of those two things will occur. Therefore, we are most likely in a simulation because we exist, Musk said. I think most likely, this is just about probability, there are many, many simulations. You might as well call them a reality, or you could call them multiverse, he added. The substrate on which these simulations are running, whatever it may be, is probably quite boring, at least compared to the simulations themselves, Musk further told Rogan. Why would you make a simulation that's boring? You'd make a simulation that's way more interesting than base reality, Musk said, citing the video games and movies that humanity makes, which are distillations of what's interesting about life. The billionaire entrepreneur is far from alone in this interpretation. A number of physicists, cosmologists, and philosophers find this simulation hypothesis compelling. Even if one advanced alien civilization with a predilection for creating simulations has ever arisen out there, the reasoning goes, then it could theoretically pop off thousands or perhaps even millions or billions of fake universes. And it would be hard for the inhabitants of these digital realms to figure out the truth, because all of the evidence they could gather would likely be planted by the creators. So is the world around us real, or are we living in a simulation, like characters trapped inside some space aliens video game? Is there another you or another me out there in a different yet same universe? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to watch more of our amazing videos, then stay tuned.